Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to NACL Season 2. We're here in game number 2 of the night, and after seeing Super Team NA pick up their first victory, it's already a day for first. Now, the first time these two teams faced off against each other, it was actually LMQ that took the victory over Curse Academy, but Curse Academy were done losing after that, and they've picked up every single game since then to actually lead the NACL standings at 7-1. So at top the standings, LMQ are the ones who have had a little bit of a rougher time actually losing a couple of their games earlier on. One to Cloud9 HyperX Tempest, and another one actually just a few days ago to Complexity Black. So coming into today's game, the Chinese powerhouse looking very, very strong, but facing an equally strong team in Curse Academy. And we're into Champion Select for game number 2. Do want to welcome you guys back to the stream. Hopefully you guys are doing well, and hopefully this game will be just as good.
Yeah, so they're both fighting for a tie for first place.
Right.
But Curse Academy want to keep the lead, obviously, and go 8-1. So band's coming through. It's going to be the Gragas from Weizhou, the Nidalee from Weizhou, Thresh from Zekent, and Simmer from, oh my god, Mashme.
Yeah, all right. So Mashme Sivir is going to get banned out, and that's really to counter out the predominant strategy in NACL, which is a Sivir Pantheon or Sivir Vi combination. You pick a jungler that can hard engage from a long way away, and then you use that Sivir move speed buff from On the Hunt to get the rest of your team there to follow up. It's a really good way to force fights, but it doesn't work too well when you're behind. Cursed Academy are one of the more diverse teams of NACL.
Right.
They pulled out crazy amounts of strategies, no AD carry. They popularized this big move speed team comp, but Kassadin isn't banned. But this is a new patch. Kassadin's gotten a lot of changes.
Yeah.
It's more of a lot of nerfs. Instead of just reworking all of his skills, right now Riot has just said, hey, we're straight up nerfing him down, taking down all of his damage, and so it's really going to be rough times for Kassadin. I've actually seen Kassadin played, and I don't think he won the last game that he was played on, so looking forward to see if he makes it through, because there's, okay, no Vel'Koz.
The trolls.
Yeah, Vel'Koz is banned for a couple weeks just because he is a new champion, so.
But still, Kassadin has the same mechanics of a 6-second flash.
Yeah,
like,
okay, he's still a good champion. there's no doubts there, but no Kassadin ban it's a bold move, Egad. We'll see if it pays off.
We will see. There's still plenty of OPs open. Lulu's still there for the mid lane if Duosec wants to play that one.
He's got a much safer champion.
He's got also a good LeBlanc, which we
right.
saw Arthon play pretty well.
Yeah, Duosec, he's probably most well known for his LeBlanc. He had a huge Baron steal at 15 minutes.
And there
Curse Academy's, yeah, all right. So locking in the Kassadin. Looks like we're still seeing Kassadin be pretty popular out there.
Oh boy.
You got to take him when you can get him, but we'll get a chance to see if he's all that, or if some of the newer champions start to come out, might have overtaken him. He's gotten a few straight nerfs. Lulu has been hit with a few nerfs herself, but really popular in today's meta. Be interesting to see how Weizhou plays that versus Duosec's Kassadin.
All right, so the range that Lulu provides is going to be huge against that matchup. So I'm interested to see if he's going to start Crystallian Flask in potions or Doran Shield in potion. But we'll wait till everybody's loaded in. That's in the future. But
yeah, exactly.
Elise is going to be the jungle up for No Name, and Pantheon for the side of Pat, and Rux's Renekton's going to get picked up.
All right, now this is really cool, because not only is it Rux's Renekton, you're taking Renekton away from Godlike, or Ackerman as he's now known, an incredible Renekton player. Got Renekton banned against him, like, I think 3 series in a row at Worlds. It was really impressive to see that guy play, and he's going to be having to face champion he's so good on. Probably will just default to like a Dr. Well, not a Dr. Mundo. We'll go with Shyvana here. Dr. Mundo actually loses pretty hard to Renekton early on in lane, and while LMQ have been having maybe a few falterings for especially their early lane, it's really their bottom lane that I'm looking to show up tonight. In the last few games, in both of actually the games that they lost, LMQ's bottom lane, Vasily and Moore, just did not show up to play. Most recently against Complexity Black, when they ran the Protect the Vayne composition, it was a combined 1-16 for Vasily and Moore. And so with Caitlyn banned away, it's just going to go back to those double guns, picking up Lucian to go with maybe a Lulu support, but should still be looking for a last pick support, which is not a role you see last pick very often.
Ligar? Possibly for Zekent?
Okay, now Zekent's a great...
I like it, but it's not as conventional.
It's not Leona either.
Yeah.
And Leona serves 2 purposes here. You pick it up for hard engage, and you also take it away from Moore. But we were talking about this earlier. We've seen some Alistar play in for Bubba Dub. He actually likes playing Nami as well, and doesn't get much more comfortable on Nami than Zekent, who has a very non-standard support champion pool. Zekent, or Nami and Jaina both both in there, but
I like it.
Covering
Corki
over.
as well can
No,
fit in there.
Corki. Talk to me about Corki, Dan. Why are we seeing more Corki out there? It got changed a little bit,
That
but
little bit of a buff from the Phosphorus Bomb with the 0.5 added into that scaling. And then Nami with Tide Caller's Blessing can throw that on top, give him a little bit of speed. He's got Valkyrie for closing distances, Bubble Catching, and Tidal Wave as well. So looks like a pretty strong lane. Lucian has, I think, a little bit more range than Corki. And you can keep poking him out with those Piercing Lights and have a really good time with that. But if they pick up Yasuo, then that means it's going to be mid Yasuo and support Lulu.
Be so good.
And a giant knockup combination can trigger out the Yasuo's ultimate and just make it huge for team fights.
This is so good. Picking that Lulu first after the Kassadin, you have to think, hey, this is a mid lane Lulu. Lulu does very well against Kassadin, has a lot of Harassadin against him, but it's going to be a Yasuo comp. And it was really sneaky the way that LMQ did this because they picked up Dragon's Descent and they have that Lulu Giant Growth knockup.
Yep.
And you don't really think about that, hey, they could switch this up and do a Yasuo comp. But at the very last pick, like I said, I was surprised to see the support pick saved
Just
for
throw
last.
a Malphite in there. Malphite jungle.
Somehow you get, Malphite jungle is dead. But hey, we've seen a lot of things come back. And even Malphite in the top lane is California Trolls played that for Team 8. It's pretty interesting to see that guy back in town. But now going with a Yasuo comp here, Zhao Wei Zhao putting his carry pants on. It's the battle that you've all been waiting for. Kassadin versus Yasuo. Curse Academy ranked #1 in NACL, facing off against LMQ, Tianzi, iBUYPOWER. It's going to be a good game. And before we start it out, we're going to head off to a quick commercial break. You want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors as well by starting off with Loot Crate. You can check out the crate of loot right down below your screen, and for $13.37 a month, you can have a crate of loot shipped to your door. It's full of all kinds of gamer geek apparel and goodies and random cool stuff in there. And if you want to check out all the cool stuff that you can get in your loot crates, head over to lootcrate.com. You can also click on the bird Jesus right down below the stream. Head over to phoenixcollection.com. Phoenix, makers of impeccably crafted gaming peripherals. They make mice, headsets, keyboards, and mouse pads. If you're interested in any of the awesome gear that they have to offer, head over to phoenixcollection.com.
Last but not least, low class. You get yourself put into a nice little chat room with the stream going of your favorite pro on your favorite champion as well in their favorite role. So you get to learn in depth. It's very closed off. You got a nice little 100-person chat going down. Get all your questions asked. Get all your Masters and Runes covered. So check out Low Class.
Answer a lot of questions. Yeah. It's a really good overview. Check out Low Class right down below. But stay tuned because when we come back, LMQ, Tianzi, iBUYPOWER take on Curse Academy in game number 2, the last day of the week here at the North American Challenger League. ladies and gentlemen, to Season 2 of the North American Challenger League. I, Reed Rapid Melton, joining me is Daniel Egad Caruso. We're going to be your shoutcasters for tonight in what should be one of the best games of the season. Curse Academy, ranked #1 in the league at 7-1, have their only loss to LMQ. But LMQ, an incredibly strong team, have looked a little bit weaker here in a few of their upcoming, or their latest matches, and really looking for a strong showing from them. It's hard to count them out.
Yeah. If the bot lane wins, you know, and doesn't go 1-16, I think it'll be okay. But I think this is probably going to be one of the more even games, because Curse Academy's kind of riding the wave. Like, we're 7 games up. Well, not 7 games up, but like we're 7-1 right now. We're looking good. We're looking strong. And I feel like at this point, any team can make LMQ lose. But LMQ also can take anybody down. It goes 50-50, but it really depends on how you're playing.
Exactly. And with LMQ kind of looking godlike coming into this week, losing a couple of their games, it's kind of shown us that gods can bleed. And with Curse Academy, kind of the Legends killers out there only losing their only game, to say it better, against LMQ. That's a pretty rough way to go down, and now looking for some revenge against a team that is one of the strongest out there. Oh, first
is that mid Lulu? Oh my God, Doran Shield start. No, it's support Lulu.
Yeah, it is support Lulu. I was a little bit afraid, man. The Glitterlands could have done a ton. Oh wait, it's support Lulu.
Still a 60 damage early on. It's not that bad.
Yeah, a little bit of a mind game there from LMQ. They switched up their AP and their support, or their mid lane and their support picks at the very end into a Yasuo team composition where you focus on knockups, look to get some crazy initiations. So it's cool, and it's a great team fight idea for LMQ, but they gave up Kassadin. And Duosec getting all in here at level 1 is going to lose that trade.
It's not even an all in. That's just dashing multiply, stacking up the damage.
And look at what it cost Zhao. Absolutely nothing. So
he didn't even go Doran Shield Star, which is really interesting to me.
Exactly, with sustain.
Which is not bad, but against someone who's going to be able to dash in and audio and you're a melee range mage, it's going to be really rough. You're going to see
a lot fewer Doran shields out there. It's now no longer a sustain item. Yeah. It's just a blocking of auto attacks item, which really you need to pair with sustain to be really effective. So while Doran shields are much fewer, you can see 2 of them there for LMQ.
Ooh, nice bubble.
Another phosphorus bomb there is going to land, and you can see the new range indicator they added. That's looking really good.
Spell Thief's Edge actually was picked up for Zekin.
Exactly, and actually saw Elimination tweeting about that earlier on. He's like, Spell Thief's Edge gives you so much money if you commit to harassing with it. And speaking of harassment, you can see Don't Match Me right there. Really.
Does it proc off Tidecaller's Blessing? When the autos, is it because it's magic damage? Does it count as the magic for it? We'll find out.
That's an interesting idea.
I don't know.
You mean the Spell Thief's Edge?
Yeah. Will it proc off the Tidecaller's Blessing? If she has it on herself and she autos? Maybe. Possibly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's only her auto attacks. So do you auto attack? Yes. Then you get some Tidecallers. Then you get some of the blessing of the Tidecallers as well as that Spell Thief's Edge extra gold. Talk about the lanes, covering the lane matchups. You can see Duosec having a little bit of a rough time there, but he's going to be the recipient of the first gank of the game, turning it right back around. Is this going to be another
crit?
Shield comes back in. Pat gets the crit, and it's first blood. Traded right back around as Duosec. The flash in auto attack from No Name. Picks up that second counter kill. It's a 2-for-1, but hey, that's a kill, or rather an assist onto Kassadin, so that's looking good.
Yeah, and that flash forward coming in from Duosec trying to pick up the kill was a little too greedy and ended up getting him killed there by No Name using that Elise auto attack range to great effect and netting himself 1 kill for mid and 1 kill for jungle. So LMQ looking strong from that early game start and put themselves 400 gold ahead. Ackerman up top has been outperforming Rux just a little bit, but that big wave just hit the turret, so I'm going to see him catch up very soon. So no pressure up there from either side. And Doran Blade started, from Rux, so looking for a little bit more attack damage, but Ackerman goes back and picks up a Chain Vest, so not going to see too much from the damage aspect from Rux so far. Well, later on.
All right, yeah, the Chain Vest first is really just saying, hey, Renekton, you built damage, you deal only physical damage, and now I'm just going to walk back into the lane with something that mitigates a lot of that. Pat coming right back into that middle lane, looking for the stun onto Zhao. Zhao can't quite find the distance, gets the hop over the wall, and going to crit him down there. Pat, 2 kills in a row. can't find any kills onto Duosec, though.
That's
so.
fine. He's getting assists. And
It's
assists
true.
mean gold, and gold means Kassadin can start being a little bit more relevant.
Yeah, and this time he actually went for the tier build first, building tier before that Rod of Ages. Saw that actually a little bit backwards early on.
Seeker's still too, but
I mean,
Rod isn't that necessary against like a melee matchup in the mid lane, especially if it's mostly an AD composition, which they have.
If you wanted to build against, if Duosec wanted to build against Zhao Zhao's early physical damage, he could have like started cloth armor and then just gone sustain that way. But instead, he just said, "Hey, I am not playing against my lane matchup. I'm just playing for the late game, for the roam." And the roam is really where Kassadin wins the game. He doesn't crush his mid lane. He's actually kind of weak 1v1. But what he does is he capitalizes off ganks really well, and he counter ganks and roams almost better than anyone else in the game. So let's see if he can get that roam down there. Pat's been having a huge impact on the game. First 2 kills there for Curse Academy, but No Name's been out there too making some plays, and he'll need to keep making them if he wants LMQ to pick this victory up and go 2-0.
If they see Pat top, they're going to go for that dragon because Elise is right there. So it looks like he's rotating down towards the river. There's pings on the dragon right now, so they know Elise is kind of hanging around there. And
speaking of pings, it's a pink ward there, blazed down by No Name able to clear things up. Rux going aggressive onto Ackerman, gets the slice, gets the dice, has that dominance down, forces the flash out there, needs another auto attack. Ackerman goes down. Rux picking up that 1v1 kill.
Even with the chain vest, it didn't really make much of a difference there. So nice job for him, knowing the extent that Renekton does not care if you build armor.
Zhao's level 6. Duosec's going to have to be very careful. No Name was looking to come around, but that just opts to kill off that Wraith camp. Steals it away. Pat top lane for some moral support. Wasn't necessarily needed. But speaking about moral support, we've got him down in the bottom lane there supporting Vasily. And the bottom lane actually going really well. 36 to 52 CS. Vasily really having a good lane against Mashme.
Ooh, Elise coming through. They spotted him out though.
Yeah, he saw him. He was like, I see what you are trying to do there. Not quite able to get it done.
Alright, and we go back to mid here. Snacking up the tier, farming into the turret, and he's actually not that far behind. He's only 7 CS behind, which is really bad for the side of LMQ because he's actually keeping on CS and not being even close to shutdown. So CS going down in bot lane. They're going to get a little bit of free turret damage here. But brave clear from Corky actually isn't too bad. Phosphorus Bomb max, you know, pretty strong. He's level 6, gets those rockets, and you're not going to be able to push him any longer. So, No Name clearing up the white, and how close is he to level 6? It's going to be relatively soon. And with the Rux picking up the solo kill, he got a bunch of XP, and he picked up a Brutalizer to counter out that armor, while Duosec gets chased, not chased out, but chunked down below half, and can't even damage with the shield of Wei Zhao. Yeah,
that shield is going to be really, really big. And Zhao Zhao, first item, Vamp Scepter. You see a lot of Yasuo's either go for double Brawler's gloves or even just stacking up.
Blade of the Rune first? Hydra?
No,
Possible?
okay. Those are both terrible items on Yasuo, though. You want a static shiv. Like, that's the undisputed best first item. And Zhao Zhao is going to take a little bit of a longer time to get it. But speaking of getting things, No Name. Let's counter jungle that blue buff off of a little bit of a weak back timing there for Duosec. But something else that makes Duosec a little bit weaker in lane is that he's chosen to go for teleport instead of ignite. So picking up that Xpeke style, played Kassadin before he was auto-picked.
With the man drop available now for Pat, though, he's going to be able to make a play down bot.
Oh, wind wall. Nice job there, Zhao Zhao, blocking out that damage. Now, I think they're actually going to give the red buff over to Yasuo. No, he's just going to take the Wraith camp away.
Yeah, just farming up and stacking that passive and clearing everything out like a boss. We do have an even gold score so far, so very interesting from that. But we do have the Sightstone picked up for Zekin. There's the man drop coming in down bot. Gonna look to see if he can actually connect down onto more. Flash stun comes in. There's using the silence to slow the bubble. Everything comes through. Wild Growth going to keep him alive for a little bit longer. Glutalant's going to slow them out just a little bit. And the auto attack and the Mega Rocket from the passive there of Corky. Every 4th rocket, I think it is, does get him the big one. And they will actually be able to push down this turret if Vasily doesn't culling the wave like he is right now. So they're going to have to block some of that, but they rip walk back behind it. They silence him up. A little bit of heal from Zekin. Going to keep him fairly alive. And Pat taking so much damage from the turret. Ooh, not going to kill him.
Down.
Mid-turret
yeah, talk about the mid lane turret. That's going to get out of there as nice rotations here. LMQ just really saying, hey, there's no champion here. We're going to take an advantage. No champions near the blue buff. Take it down. No champions near the mid turret. That will go down as well for the first turret of the game at the just prior to 10 minutes. Go to LMQ. They're going to take 2 turrets. Okay, all right. I was getting a little bit afraid, but middle turret should survive, but still very low.
All right, so That could be a big sign for Wei Zhao and No Name to push it down again. But without teleport, I think we're going to see Duo 6 sticking to that mid lane for a little while longer. And looks like Zeken's going to roam around, look for some defensive wards towards his red in that side. Dragon going to be pinged out here. Looks like No Name's going to lead the charge into that one. And they could actually try to get this free Dragon off of an interesting back from Curse Academy, as there it goes with this bite and this might will net LMQ their first one.
Man, LMQ really on top of these global objectives here. They may be losing out a few fights actually. Duosec going in there, gets a lot of his damage blocked there.
Heal. Wow.
Oh, Wei Zhao gonna get knocked up in there. As much as he will be mobile, he is gonna go down there. And now, oh, Moore's gonna get taken out here. Phosphorus Bomb and just few more auto attacks. Thought it was going to be the big one there for Mash Me again, but
the first kill for Cassidy.
Oh my, the first of many. And he's going the somewhat greedy double mana build as well. You don't really see Cassidans do that all that often because it delays your Zhonya's Hourglass.
You just see it actually pretty often. If you get ahead early like he is, and a Catalyst and a tier at about 11 minutes isn't that bad, and your tier's currently at, how many stacks we got on this bad boy? 270 out of 750. You're stacking it up at a decent rate.
Yeah, and so while the tier stacks, he's going to be able to get that Rod of Ages stacking, and that's a whole lot of just stacking. So all you have to do is just
scaling. That's what Cassidon's all about.
And he's going to have that teleport as well to help him get some kills that might help him scale a little bit faster. But man, the Cassidon train's starting to roll, but LMQ though
can't win while the man drop. It's going to go right on top of him. The knockup comes through. The Cocoon's going to slow him down just a little bit. He flashes away. He's able to get out of there, and Pat's going to get healed up there by Zeken. They get the silence and the slow. They get the flash out of Wei Zhao too. And it looks like they're going to be able to stay alive from the side of LMQ, but some good ganking from Pat. Gets that summoner, and he could just loop back around and just shield him in the face and then just crit him away if he really wanted to.
Now, Rux is already 1v1 to Ackerman here, but it appears as if he's starting to lose that matchup out just a little bit harder. Went for the very aggressive Brutalizer first, and I mean, it's a great item when you're winning the lane, and look at how hard he's winning the lane. Like 20 CS up already. That's a good choice, but he's not tanky, which means that as soon as laning phase ends, Ackerman gets a big power spike because he's got the rest of his team to deal damage while he tanks it out.
All right, and here we go. Everybody going back, and I think some items. BT should be ready for the side of Vasily. Duosec going back. Currently has a couple 100 gold in his inventory, but nothing too big to buy. Going to be able to hold off this wave just fine. Wei Zhao still pushing up. Has a 26 CS lead over his opponent there. There's the Bloodthirster completed. There's Blue Up going over to No Name. Think you have to pass him over to Yasuo because, you know, not a mana user. Ackerman, really haven't talked too much about him. Rux is actually beating him out in CS, has that kill over him, and they're just playing it safe, and there's a big level lead for Rux still.
You know, it's interesting to see. This is played on the live patch, so it's patch 4.3, and both Yasuo and Cassidon received pretty big nerfs. Yasuo takes a long time to build his flow. It's actually a little bit lower shield too. Cassidon just had his damage overall nerfed, and for a second pick off of here of the blue buff, LMQ are setting up really well for this, but I'm not sure this is the fight they want to pick. Now, most likely Rux is going to lose his turret here, and this is what I talked about. Building offensive in his team fight means he does a lot of damage, but cannot tank for his team. And really, there aren't any tanks at all here for Curse Academy, and that could wind up biting them. But if there's any team that does well and they build full damage, it's not only Curse's main roster, but Curse Academy as well.
When they ran those Tryndamere 80 carry for Fabi back in the day. Just had Jax go pushing as well. So that was some fun times. We do have a 4-man push. Both 80 carries are currently bought. Double bubble comes through.
Oh my gosh.
They do get the giant growth in onto Moore. He's going to try to get away while Wei Zhao's getting chunked and ignited. He will end up falling to Duosec, who picks up another kill. Exhaust onto Ackerman. Are they going to be chasing him out through the burnout? Vasily actually 1v1 Mash Me. There's the man drop coming in as well, but it's a little bit off as it does go to the side, and they're able to cut away with Glitter Lances. Ackerman in dragon form still throws out the Flame Breath, does not connect, and Vasily, in the meanwhile, picks up a tier 1 down bot, going to keep on pushing, and they're going to lose the blue buff too, so Cassidon picks up another kill, but Match Me got 1v1'd, and a turret was lost.
Yeah, now Duosec does get a kill, but look at that. The LMQ, they pick up a kill bottom. Actually, teleport back from base. Duosec's got full mana now, and Vasily. Vasily's going to try to outplay this, but he's actually the one out of mana, and with those Nether Blade-empowered auto attacks, Duosec is going to Rift Walk in and take him down. Wait.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my.
Where's the Q? Oh, he's going to Rift Walk in and Q.
No.
Or Pulse? There it is.
Okay, flashed and then Rift Walk. Vasily had a lot more damage, just persistent damage, and
Close.
pretty sure Duosec popped his Nether Blade a little bit early because it ran out almost immediately. Wasn't able to get that down, but still picks up the kill. It's now 8-3, and while we talked about the global objective game being won by LMQ, that only gets you so far because eventually kills catch up and you can't take global objective because you are so far behind. And now when you look and see Kassadin tied with a Pantheon jungle, both incredibly aggressive, great mobile gankers, things are about to get scary for LMQ.
All right, 3 kills. Rod of Ages, Tier still stacking away. Crazy amount of damage coming out of him already. And we do see that Frost Fang. We do see... I wonder if he's going to go for Frost Queen's Claim. If he gets Frost Queen's Claim, that's going to be a very interesting build. He's going to have the slow and the active. Going to get a little bit extra gold. How much does he actually need off that?
You know, he's going for Mikhail's next, but if you look at Frostfang, he's made...
350, not bad.
Yeah, 350. I mean, you could make more off of going for more of a passive item, but he's looking to be aggressive. He's that battle Nami, and this is back from even before when he was on Curse's main roster, and even when he started on Curse Academy, or back in the days when he was on the now Complexity Black roster, TBD. It was... He actually had a really strong showing on his aggressive support play, and nice to see him back there building up those aggressive items. But speaking of being aggressive, with all these offensively built champions, Curse Academy win the offense, but they lose the defense, the long sustained team fights. So LMQ, they want to fight a very different style. Their style is sort of hit and run, pick up global objectives, don't fight champions. See them doing that right now, taking down the dragon.
No, man drop, tidal wave, gonna hit onto 3. There it is, and the knock-up and the stun come through. They're keeping Wei Zhao alive with the wild growth, but Moore is gonna get sacrificed for that one. It's gonna be the Rift Walk to chase. The pulse comes through. Mashmi picks up 1, gets double buffs. They're gonna chase on a Vasily. The silence come through, but Ackerman is now there. Flash over the wall, forced out of Mashmi. They're gonna dash through. Wei Zhao gonna be the next one to fall here. The wind wall comes through. Ignite gets dropped though, and the auto attacks and the pulse will come out as Duosec picks up another kill. Rift Walk over the wall. Oh, and the silence, but no, Zekin. The bloodthirsty support goes 1-0-7. They stopped them from doing dragon. They're going to probably be able to pick that up themselves and net themselves 4 kills.
It's just too good right now. The engages from Curse Academy they're using LMQ's own strategy against them. LMQ, sure, global objectives are great, but LMQ have always been the team to use those objectives to bait out team fights because they're more confident in their team fighting skills. So they just force them with Dragons and Barons, and then they win the team fights there. This time it was LMQ going for a global objective, but then getting initiated on so perfectly. That Nami tidal wave in with the Pantheon, that's a huge combo. There's so much knock up and lock down that Duosec can just get in and do whatever he wants. Now looking Duosexy at 4-1-7. Never a score you want to see a Kassadin.
Look at the Sork boot Corki now, too.
That's that old school Corki
We're going
build.
back to when, you tried AP Corki mid and it was fun, but I'll see you build AD Corki with Sork boots. It helps out pretty much all of his abilities. Don't really need attack speed, just build Trinity Force or something else with that. We'll see where his route is. He has quite a lot of gold in his inventory. He should. Yeah, he's got 1,200. Could pick a machine. Could go for Zeal, if anything. Want some crits, some extra mobility. But either way, 12-3, 3,000 gold lead. Curse Academy putting on a show, and this Kassadin not being banned out kind of biting LMQ in the butt.
Hey man, Kassadin, it's a risky pick when you leave it up, and keep in mind both Kassadin and Yasuo had nerfs, but it's the Yasuo now that's 1-5 in the middle lane, and while he does have that static shift completed, it's a little bit late, going for an Infinity Edge that's going to take an almost infinite amount of time to get.
All right, and as the push commences up top, we have Corki still bot. Mashmi shoving out that wave, and maybe you'll join the team up top. Yeah, he's rotating up now. Building towards the Phage. Yeah, I mean, building towards the Trinity Force to pick up the Phage. And it looks like he's going to go mid. They're kind of rotating around, hanging towards Baron. Wards are going to get cleared out. They're going to be swept away. Zekin going to drop another one, no problem. Vasily's joining the team, so all 5 members from LMQ and Curse Academy going to butt heads very soon.
The only team to beat Curse Academy so far is LMQ. And I know I've said that a lot, but just letting it sink in, we're 2 weeks in to NACL. All the teams have played a lot of games, but it's been great to see teams sort of rise and fall. Team 8, a great team coming from the bottom and making some huge wins, specifically against Cloud9 HyperX Tempest, which they're 2-0 over. And now, Duosec baits out that wind wall, and now, Zhao Wei Zhao is so vulnerable here. And Duosec's just going to take him down. He does dash away there, but he just can't 1v1. Just about anyone does go for that last breath, puts a lot of damage down, but pass on a rampage. 5-1-5.
Oh, man, just perfect counter ganking from that Pantheon. as well as setting up ganks for the Caston in the mid lane all throughout this whole game, just completely shutting down Wei Zhao.
And now look at LMQ. They were trying to say, hey, you've got 2 mid, we're going to push top and punish you. But the pushing power and just the straight-up damage from Duosec and Pat, they'll take down that second-tier turret, so LMQ have to back off now, play defensively, and now they're actually at a man behind top lane in that 3v2 push.
So, Wei Zhao just had such a rough game, sitting 1-6 at this point. That mid lane just didn't go well for him. You would think Yasuo would do better, but if the jungler just completely shuts him down, it's going to be so hard. Bubble to stop out No Name there. Morris chasing this one down, though. Looks, hit the picks in the Glitter Lance, but could not follow up as everybody else was a little bit behind. And Spider Lane comes through, not going to connect in. They're still going to keep this pressure up this top lane. Ackerman was kind of looking for a flank around with the Tri-Brush. This turret's still dangerously low, and with a few more autos, it's going to go over unless, like, Curse can be all in and just stop them from going in.
Now, Pat's down in the bottom lane with Zhao Wei Zhao. That's a good matchup for Zhao Wei Zhao. Should be able to take it down. He's going to be taking down the white and then continuing to just shove that lane out. But giving Zhao Wei Zhao a solo lane is a great idea here for LMQ. I talked about how it would take so long for him to get to that Infinity Edge, but just stalling things out and making sure that he can at least pick up that big BF sword buy is a great idea for LMQ. They don't have to worry about losing global objectives. They've taken down, I think it was all the dragons? No, they're 1-1 in dragons so far. So for now, LMQ just need to slow the game down. Curse Academy's been playing this so fast. You've got Pantheon making plays across the map, teleports in from Duosec, and really just huge plays all game long. If LMQ can slow this down, get some farm in, they may eventually kind of outscale Curse Academy, but Curse Academy have Duosec's Kassadin, and you never want to let that guy get into late game.
He's also building a death cap now, too, so.
You know, that could be Seraph's Embrace into Zhonya's.
Oh, silence.
Pick. Oh,
Dragon's Descent going to come through. He's going to get slowed up there by the Pulse, and he's going to flash forward, but into Zeke, and the bubble comes through. Ooh, nice juke away. Flash over the wall, the rift, and everything.
You're running from Kassadin. Let me explain to you how well that works out, Dan. Not very well at all. And a pick off there on Ackerman means that the tank lineup is now sufficiently destroyed. Mobility boots got nerfed, and usually you see Sorcerer's Shoes on Elise, but it's not that way this time around. Going for that mobility and aggression, his only tank item is really that Spirit of the Ancient Golem. He's got a Null Magic Mantle there too, but it's not going to help you against Duosec, who's arguably just as scary as, Pat, who's arguably just as scary as Duosec.
Alright, and board's going to get cleared out on this side, as slowly but surely, the map pressure is increasing for Curse Academy. LMQ getting denied a lot. We're going to see them go in onto No Name, get the stun, get the Valkyrie of the wall. He's going to be forced to flash away. Foster's Bomb comes out, and Pat with the crit will shut him down and go unstoppable. 6-1-6 on this jungle Pantheon, so a ton of damage coming in. Brutalizer, out the Lizard, and now going tanky for the Randuin's Omen. And this is going to be the 5-man push onto these tier 2 in the bot lane as they want to start clearing those out. The Colling's going to clear the wave, though, but Pat will block up most of that, get healed up for it. And are they going to dive the
Flash
Rux?
in, Rux making the calls, going deep on Moore. He's going to be a bad dog there as he falls down. Zhao Wei Zhao to follow, and with No Name already dead, it's just Vasily and Ackerman left to defend this bottom lane push. If you build tank stats, you want a team fight. If you build offense, you want to make picks, and that's exactly what Curse Academy have been doing all game long. They don't actually fight 5v5. If they do, they fight on their terms with man drops and those big tidal waves like we've seen them do at Dragon a couple of times already. And that time, they were the ones dictating that team fight. LMQ were on the back foot, they were playing defensively, and they just couldn't do anything. Once they get engaged on, their counter-engage isn't what makes them strong. It's their ability to just sustain and keep that team fight going. But as far behind as they are, they don't want a team fight. They want to just push out minions, farm up, and get rid of this disadvantage. But they just haven't done as much as Curse have. Like, it sounds kind of obvious to say, but Curse Academy have been the ones proactive, making these calls, making the plays, and by and large, it's worked out 17-3. And this is a big game, EGAD, because this is the battle for either tied for first or tied for third. Zhao is going to go in there. If Curse Academy are at 7-1, LMQ are at 6-2, so they win this game, they move up tied for first. They lose this, they're tied for third with Complexity Black in that Ancient Golem conference. So, man, it's getting crazy here. It's getting into that late game, and I say late game, but we're only 25 minutes in. It just looks like late game because you've got 6 kills on Pantheon, 5 kills on Kassadin, 3 kills, of course, on Don't Mash Me. You can never count that guy out. But Pat was going to go for the man drop, but canceled it out.
All right. 40 CS lead, though, for Vasily over Don't Mash Me at this point. So he's keeping up on those items, and it looks like Ackerman's going to be their next target here. Man drop comes out ahead of this one. Ruck's going to stun him up underneath that. Nope, Slicing, going to follow up the Dragon. Looking for the dice. Does not get the stun to follow out. Man drop is now down. It's a lot of initiation loss, but Ackerman with no ultimate force to go away while back.
The teleport. Wait,
oh, wait, that was a teleport.
That was a teleport. All right. Okay. Not sure why Duosec didn't just fight that and try to run.
Pretty scary. Maybe. Instead,
he teleported back to his team, and I kind of like that. It's what you used to see Voyboy do when he was playing side lanes. He'd run off to a side lane and then teleport to Baron where the rest of his team was already waiting. This time it's not a Baron, it's a second-tier turret in the top lane. What? Same idea is there. Gets out alive, but he probably could have just rift walked away.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking at that point. He's like, I'm just going to get to my team. Oh, looks like they're going to wait in the brush here. There's no wards. He got sweepered out. Are they going to be able to bait this one, though, is the question. Who will be the one to face check? They could look for a ward of the wall.
Oh, no way.
No. They're going to go into No Name. Bubble connects. He's going to get knocked out. Wild Growth keep him alive a little bit longer. There's the repel. Where he's going to come down is the question. While Mashman on the side, going to be able to pick the kill on more. There it is. Flashes away. Gets ignited. There's the tidal wave to follow. But up the wall blocks the tidal wave. Man, it will stop that, but now the stun comes through the culling to the wall. Will Vasily be able to pick up the kill? No, he's not going to be able to, and they turn it into a 3-for-0 in favor of Curse Academy, and that is going to signal Baron for them.
All right, these are the plays that Ackerman needs to be the one making. Dive over the wall and steal the Baron, right? It's going to be a little bit more difficult than that. In fact, he's actually risking his life because Pantheon can jump over that wall if he's too close, and of course the follow-up from Caston as well. Baron dropping very, very low. Nobody really in range to steal it. And this is about as free as the Baron buff as you get. Curse Academy, the first Baron of the game.
That's a huge lead that they snagged up there. 10,000 gold at 26 minutes. But earlier on today, we saw, Ocelot's team in the EU NACS? Oh my god, the EUCS.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
They overcame an 11,000 gold difference. And credit to Ocelot. He's getting a little bit of flack, but Gamers 2, they made it happen. 11,000 gold deficit was what they overcame in EUCS, which just goes to show that you should never give up. And while 11,000 gold is a little bit rough to come back from, that's where we find ourselves at here. 20-3. The gold count sizably in favor of Curse Academy. LMQ, they know what to do. They know how to stall out games, but I don't think Curse Academy are going to let them do that.
No, they will not. They will look to push their advantage and pressure it. Saros Embrace was completed up there for Duosec now. The tear's been stacked, and he finally had the time to buy the item. It looks like they're grouping up in a brush here, maybe trying to bait something out. If they can catch up Duosec before he pops the shield, but Wei Zhao just gets blown up. There's a flash in from Ackerman trying to start a play up here. The tidal wave connects onto everybody. There's no windmill to block at that time. In the side, though, he's going to get knocked up and blown up while the bubble does not connect. Without Duosec, that's a lot of damage gone, but they're still going to look to chase this one out. Cocoon comes through, but Pat is going to get taken almost down. Ignite goes through, and Rux wasn't there to be the tank length they needed. Duosec got a little greedy, but that is Zanya's hourglass. He kind of just blew up.
And that's exactly what we were talking about earlier. What? The re-engage. All right, this is going to be the man drop. Re-engaging. More goes down. It's No Name to follow. Only Vasily.
Rux is finally there.
Is left.
He's like 2 members.
And that's the big deal. Why do you engage there as Curse when you don't have your big tank from the top lane? Curse Academy engaged without Rux, and they wind up paying for it. But as soon as he shows up, they're just going to take down Wei Zhao as well. They stun him up under turret. Pat goes godlike at 8. 1 and 10. A huge presence from the jungle. Now it's Ackerman. Going to go down there. A double kill for Pat. Rux dies. Pat picks up his 9th kill in a row.
All right, and the inhibitor did respawn bot, so they could look to rotate to get that one, but they're going to get the turret in the mid lane, secure that objective, and come back possibly for the inhibitors, or just get them now. The respawn timers, though, are relatively short, so everybody from LMQ are coming up very soon, but they're going to go back in onto Vasily. Now Flash Stun comes through. Vasily. A bunch of damage. He's forced the barrier, and Pat will pick up the kill and go legendary. Now turning around onto No Name. He's going to repel. Where is he to go, though, is the question. A ton of damage comes through. The spear is not enough. Oh, the red buff going to take him down. Is he going to kill him? Yes!
Just enough. Mash Me.
They pick up more as well. Mash Me going big on that Corky double kill. Is this the return of the man in a plane? It looks like the answer is going to be yes. They rift walk on top of Wei Zhao. He's not long for this world. He will fall as Pat will go legendary again and pick him up after the respawn. And Ackerman's now up. This could be game. I think this actually should be game.
Turrets are going down. I just got the sickest nerd chills. Curse Academy finally taking out LMQ, getting revenge for the team that's given them their only defeat in NACL and advancing to 8-1 in the standings. This is absolutely ridiculous to watch. Every single game in NACL brings you a treat. First game of the night, we saw Super Team NA pick up their first win in a very long time. Now 8-1, it's kind of the opposite end of the spectrum as Curse Academy rise to 8-1. It was Super Team NA now that's 1-8, but top of the standings, man. Curse Academy just looking like a well-oiled machine, and keep in mind this is coming into the NACS that's about to start up here in not too long. Curse Academy, they picked a great time to be a great team. And LMQ, that actually drops them down, like I said, to a tie in third place at now 6-3, and really seem to have lost what made them so strong early on in NACL, run into a few hard times. So LMQ maybe need to channel their inner Lomo a little bit more. But for us, that's going to be it for the second game of the night as Curse Academy pick up a 28-5 victory over LMQ Tianci iBUYPOWER. So a lot to talk about. I'm going to be watching that game several times over. That was a great game to go out on. So we're going to head off to a quick commercial break.
Yeah, and we'll be back with email support taking on Team 8. So stay tuned, enjoy, and we'll be seeing you soon.